What's up, everybody? My name's Big Cam and welcome back to another trailer reaction. And just yesterday, the HBO original series, they dropped a little 2-minute trailer for the Harry Potter and the Philosopher'S Stone Season 1. So I don't know if they'll be able to go Season 1, Season 2, or if they're just going to be like, oh, this is the book, and this is the book. And I wonder if that will be able to make HBO not have to pay the actors as much between seasons, you know, because like, if there's a Season 2 of something, everyone on the cast and crew always gets a pay bump between seasons, you know what I mean? But if it's not labeled Season 2, maybe they won't have to pay bump everybody and they'll just pay everybody the same. I don't know. But either way, they're committing to Harry Potter and the Philosopher'S Stone instead of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone like it was here in America. I believe it was always the Philosopher'S Stone over there in the UK. But HBO original series is bringing back Harry Potter, and this little 2-minute trailer looks really cute. And the first image we saw the other day of this series was of Harry Potter entering the Quidditch pitch, and it was a shot of him from behind, and we see his Gryffindor cloak with the number 7 in Potter written down the back. So, you know, the kid himself, Harry Potter, he looks pretty spot on, you know, and I'm digging the actual look of him. It's going to take some getting used to for Ron and Hermione, I think, and pretty much everyone else. But like, there's a few characters I've seen in this trailer that I'm really on board for their look in the actors that are going to be portraying the characters, if you know what I mean. But I think the trio here is in good hands with whoever this young boy is playing Harry Potter. He seems to be spot on. But let's jump on into this trailer and see what we notice.
I told you. You are a normal boy. And you're going to start acting like one. You think you're something special? There is nothing special about you.
So a new HBO original series as we see a young Harry Potter, and he's at the Dursleys' house. I believe that's or the Dudleys' house. But either way, they're not very nice to Harry. He's living in the cupboard under the staircase, of course, just like the original movie and the books. And yeah, the boy's very sad, depressed, and what we will see in this series, it seems, though, that we didn't see in the movies, is young Harry at public school getting bullied by some kids, you know, some kids with terrible bowl cut haircuts, you know, but he's in the boys' room and he's getting bullied by these kids, and, you know, you can see the little scar and the circle glasses of Harry Potter, and the kid, just in that shot alone, I'm like, oh yeah, Harry Potter is a little nerd that gets bullied all the time. Poor kid, but also like, yeah, I see it. But like, you know, Aunt whatever, Petunia? What is the, I don't know, I guess I need to rewatch those movies for little character names, like stuff like that. But his aunt here is cutting his hair rather aggressively, and you know, he looks like he's almost in pain from this haircut as she's telling him that he isn't special and that he's a real boy and that there's never going to be anything special about him. But then Harry receives a letter that says, "To Mr. H. Potter, the cupboard under the stairs, 4 Privet Drive," from Little Winging, Surrey? I've never been to the UK, so maybe Little Whipping in Surrey is a place over there, or it's just a place for the Harry Potter universe. But either way, our boy gets his first letter, and we know he's going to get many, many more letters. But it's funny, they showed the aunt in this trailer. They didn't show the uncle, where like the uncle's a real pain in the ass to Harry in the first movie. But on to the next portion of this trailer.
I've always wanted to know about my parents.
Your parents were the kindest, bravest people I ever met. They were funny and clever, and they stood up for what they believed was right. The next time I see you, we'll be in Hogwarts.
based on the beloved books from J.K. Rowling, as controversial as she is these days, but we see Harry at the end of that running into platform 9 3/4. We don't necessarily see it, but we know that that's what he's about to do, and he's got his trunk cart, and it looks like he's on the train, and he's watching Ron Weasley hug Mrs. Weasley goodbye, and yeah, very ginger Weasleys, so they nailed that. But, you know, that's just such a sweet scene. It seems like they're going to be chatting more about, you know, Harry's parents on the train. And, you know, he's like, I never met my parents. You know, I always wanted to know more about them. And we see Hagrid, played by Nick Frost, I think is his name. And, you know, his voice isn't as deep as Robbie Coltrane's, so that's going to have some getting used to. But he looks pretty spot on, Hagrid. And he's talking about, you know, Harry's mom and dad, and, Lily and James Potter. And he says that they are sweet and nice souls, and that they, you know, protected what they believed in, as they pan up to Harry's scar on his forehead, which we know how he got that, from He Who Must Not Be Named. Ooh. But yeah, so Hagrid says the next time that he sees Harry will be at Hogwarts. So we're going to Hogwarts, baby. We're going back. Can't wait. On to the next portion of this trailer.
Mr. Potter, I think we can expect great things from you. Let's see who you are.
Ooh, Mr. Ollivander says, Mr. Potter, I think we can expect great things from you. Let's see who you are. And at the end of that clip, we see our boy Harry walking out onto the Quidditch pitch to be the youngest seeker in the game. Oh man, and the Quidditch uniforms look better, and the brooms look more broomy, and the actual pitch itself looks like, you know, an old medieval, like, stadium. And yeah, I guess our boys are going to be playing some Quidditch, and we're going to see it in season 1. And I wonder what the comparison is between, like, the movies and the shows. You know, I wonder what the budget difference is. You know, like, I wonder how much HBO is really dumping into this series. Because literally anybody that's criticizing this or has any takes about it, anyone that's not liking the trailer so far, everyone will be watching this series when it comes Christmas time this year, and you know, people will be diving in and falling in love with these characters all over again. But you know, at the beginning of that clip, we see the Hogwarts Express arriving and Hagrid walking the kids through the woods, and they're entering Hogwarts, you know, and they're about to go to the Sorting Hat, and we see McGonagall for the first time. And I don't know the woman's name, so I apologize to the actress, but I recognize her from playing the lawyer in Ozark with Jason Bateman. So this McGonagall, just the look of her already, I'm super here for. And then we also see shots of the Sorting Hat, which the Sorting Hat, little things like this is what's gonna make this series really good to me, because obviously the Sorting Hat from the original movie is iconic, but it's also a prop from the 2000s. So the material, the technology that went into making that thing, not as good as what today's technology could be. So this looks like a just regular old black witch hat that they're going to probably use CGI to make it talk, to be able to sort them into their houses. Where, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if the 2001 version of this movie, you know, I wonder if the Sorting Hat was like an animatronic or something. But either way, you know, little things like this where like the material of the hat itself looks more expensive, looks better. You know, maybe I'll buy this Sorting Hat a little bit more than the old Sorting Hat. Although the old Sorting Hat was still pretty dope, and like he had attitude, you know, like, so this hat better have attitude as well. But this witch's hat is like all black, so this is like a pure Slytherin hat. Maybe that's how they're going to change the series. Our boy's going to be in Slytherin. No, I doubt it. They're not changing anything. They're just, you know, redoing it. Yeah. But then we see for the first time Ron, Harry, and Hermione. And Hermione's not as ginger as Emma Watson was in the original series, so that's going to take some getting used to as well. But I'm sure this trio is going to be awesome, and I'm going to love spending many years with them as these characters. But they're walking around Hogwarts, it looks like. And then we see Qyburn from Game of Thrones playing Ollivander, and he's the one, you know, who's going to give Harry his wand there. And then we see Harry in shots of a room with a bunch of candle lit everywhere, and this has to be what, Snape's dark arts room or something like that from the first movie. I wonder if this is the scene where it's like you know, he's explaining something about the love to Lily like in the first movie, and then Hermione knows all the answers and he's like, I don't know, sir, you know. But we also see a brief shot of what has to be Crabbe, Goyle, and Malfoy, and I don't really like the way that Malfoy looks. I much prefer the slicked back hair look of the original version from Tom Felton, but this Malfoy, I'm sure, is going to be a complete prick and everyone's going to hate him. So the poor actor. But then we see Harry opens up the Nimbus 2000 in a nice box, and you know, and then we see him cutting over to Quidditch, and he's heading on to the Quidditch field for his first match as Ron and Hermione celebrate and cheer him on. Oh boy, but there's only one more portion to this trailer, so let's finish this bad boy out.
Are you really Harry Potter?
Oh man, this trailer does look really good, and I think that the kids looked pretty spot on. You know, I'm gonna be here for them. But if they wanted to make this trailer that much better for the OG fans, they should have ended it with Harry, you know, Ron goes, "Are you really Harry Potter?" And he kind of just goes, mm-hmm, you know, like kind of just nods his head. He should have done what Daniel Radcliffe did and push up the hair, show him the scar, and go, "Oh yeah." You know, like, and do that little "oh yeah," and then Ron goes, "Wicked," you know, like, instead he goes, you know, mind blown type of thing. But yeah, Ron and him look very cute. I hope they age into the roles quite well as well, you know, because by the third movie, if they're not like fully ingrained with these characters, it's not gonna work, you know what I mean? Like, because Daniel Radcliffe in Rupert Grint and Emma Watson in the original movies, the first two, they're good, but it's not them carrying the movies as much as like the movies carrying them. But by like Prisoner of Azkaban forward, like, you are so into these characters, and like Prisoner of Azkaban really sets the tone that like these guys are legit and they're going to be around and they're going to be Harry frickin' Potter and Hermione and Ron Weasley through the rest of these, and like they're not changing and they nailed it, you know what I mean? Like, and those original movies are so perfect that, like, you know, why are they doing this? I understand, like, well, we got the Harry Potter IP, we might as well keep doing something with it, you know, instead of just letting the movies sit on the shelf. But, you know, I don't know if I would have rather gotten more movies or if it is proper that they're doing an HBO series. It does seem like we're gonna get more time to hang out with the characters and explore what they're up to. You know, we're gonna see more of them in classes, and Hermione maybe in herbology class, and you know, maybe that's the Mandrake scene. And then we see Harry and Ron running through the hall, maybe on the tables. Maybe some guys are chasing them. Then they're on the train, you know, they're goofing off, throwing shit at each other. And then they're having a snowball fight, and Hagrid's in the snow doing a snow angel. They're walking up the spiral staircase of Hogwarts. You know, they're putting their hands in and they're cheering like buddies going to play Quidditch, you know? You know, it looks like Ron and him maybe are roasting marshmallows, you know? So we're gonna get more time to see them become friends and hang out, and we're gonna like just get more, right? Like, say the movie's 2 hours, which I think the first movie's more like 3 hours. Say we get 10 episodes and they're an hour a piece. We go from 3 hours to 10 hours. So that extra 7 hours of time that we could spend with these characters and build up the villain and build up what we're building to, like, I think this is gonna be awesome. But we also see a little shot of Hermione there, and she's like looking at Ron and them, smiling. We see a quick shot of a wand that is Lumos, you know, which is pretty much just a light on the end of the wand, and we see who's going to be playing Snape, a black man, which I already can tell people are going to hate him, or, you know, this character is going to be very controversial, but I don't know how you would have recast an Alan Rickman. You know, like, certain roles were so perfect in the first movie that I think they needed to do something like this and fully switch up the character, and hopefully he does a great job as Snape, and I hope he just doesn't get criticized for every little thing and just shit on because he's not Alan Rickman, you know, like, give the guy a shot before you shit on him. At least in my mind. You know, it's okay to shit on people if they deserve it. But, you know, we haven't even seen his work and you're shitting on him? That's not fair. But then after we see Snape, we see a shot of John Lithgow's Dumbledore, and that's going to take some getting used to. I mean, we did have two of the greatest Dumbledores with Richard Harris and Michael Gambon, so, you know, he's got big shoes to fill here, and yeah, I think John Lithgow might just be the guy. And I wonder if he's going to do like an old voice, or if he's just going to have John Lithgow's voice. And if that's the case, that will make me laugh every time Dumbledore's on screen. But, you know, Dumbledore's a great character, so I hope we get some more of his relationship with Harry as well, with this expanded time that we get to spend with the characters. But yeah, Ron and Harry walking down the hallway, and then, you know, we get the scene at the end there where he's asking him, you know, are you really Harry Potter? And Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone is coming Christmas of 2026 to HBO Max, and I cannot wait. I am so excited for this. See some friggin' Quidditch, see that little snitch, to see, you know, all these characters back. And what a perfect time of year to do this. You know, the only other time of year that I would say would be maybe as good would be Halloween time. Now, also, is HBO going to dump this all at once? And, like, is this going to come out Christmas Day, you know, and dump all at once? I hope not. I hope, honestly, they go from, like, November, like Thanksgiving, they go from, like, November 25th through Christmas, and we get, you know, each week we get a new Harry Potter episode, and then as we head into the new year, you know, through New Year's Eve and into 2027, we're still, you know, having week-to-week Harry Potter to enter in the new year. I think that might be the perfect way to end out this awesome 2026 as we head into a even better 2027. Well, at least I hope it's going to be better. But, you know, 2026 is going to be huge. We got Supergirl, Spider-Man Brand New Day, Disclosure Day, the UFO movie from Steven Spielberg. We have the Odyssey from Christopher Nolan, Harry Potter coming in Christmas. Like, oh, I am so excited for this, and I know there's even more. Like the Super Mario movie's about to come out. Project Hail Mary just came out. You know, Dune Part 3, Avengers Doomsday in Christmas time of this year as well. So all around Christmas, we're gonna have Dune Part 3, Avengers Doomsday, Harry Potter HBO series, werewolf movie by Robert Eggers. Like, this Christmas is gonna be packed, and it's gonna be awesome, and I cannot wait. And I hope you guys enjoyed this trailer breakdown, and I hope you guys liked this trailer. I would love to hear your thoughts about this trailer down in the comment section below, and if you want to send me those thoughts to my other social medias, links for those down in the description below. But yeah, I really want to know what you thought of this trailer. Are you going to be here for Christmas? Do you hate it? And if there's anything I missed in this trailer, please make sure to let me know down in the comments below. But also, if you've made it this far into the video and you would like to support the channel, the best way of doing that is liking this video, commenting down in the comment section below, subscribing if you haven't already, and hit that bell so you don't miss future Harry Potter content and future trailer reactions and breakdowns, and you'll get the notifications when those come out. Once again, my name's Big Cam, and I'll see you gorgeous folks in the next video. Peace!